something the other day that made me go, hooray. Then it made me go, oh no. What was it? A new survey just released by the Federal Justice Department. It showed that the number of women officially reporting sexual misconduct is up 17%. Hooray, right? But wait a minute. Oh no, that number is still woefully low. In that 17% gain lurks a shadowy ache for more power. Silence or a muted voice, whether it's due to the suppression of others or caused by fear within ourselves, it can sometimes prevent us from speaking up, especially when it comes to sexual harassment and assault. Experts are attributing the 17% uptick in official reports to the hashtag #MeToo movement. The woman who started it all is Tarana Burke, a woman of color. If the Justice Department study is a true indicator of a cultural shift, it means that we are making strides, but we need to do more. But how? Support groups that advocate for victims of sexual assault. If you can, make a donation or simply retweet their message to your friends and contacts. Communication is a catalyst for comfort, empowerment, and momentum. Our efforts will help to grow a movement that will make our community stronger, more vocal, and hopefully more whole. I'm Yolanda Joe with Yo Joe Knows.
You've been listening to The Commentators. The views expressed are solely their own. Hashtag VON The Commentators.
VON lineup, chat room, blogs, photos, podcasts, and more on the World Wide Web at WVON.com.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love.
And I'm in Georgia singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. I hope that this anthem will touch people in a different way. We've been singing it forever, but this time I would hope that they would feel it so deeply that it would lift them to a higher place. That's what I feel when I sing the song.
And that was, I'm sorry, it's 9:26, and that was Gladys Knight responding to being chosen to sing the national anthem. Well, she, at the time that she made the statement, she did not think that there would be a firestorm of controversy, and there have been people that have asked her throughout social media to please rethink doing the national anthem. And don't get it twisted, there's a lot of people that don't know what the national anthem and how it was in, when Francis Scott Key, he was in support of slavery. There are a lot of people that do not know that Amazing Grace was written by one of the most despicable men that ever lived, and his connections to the slave trade, and finally found religion at some point. There's a lot of people that do not know these things, or remember their history, or even remember the times when she was ushered through back doors, and there were certain parts of the South that her and the Pips would ride through on their buses and have to do it kind of very clandestine, and have to do it in the middle of the day and try to avoid sundown towns and all of that sort of thing. So this is what she said in a statement. She said, I understand that Mr. Kaepernick is protesting two things, and they are police violence and injustice. It is unfortunate that our national anthem has been dragged into this debate when the distinctive senses of the national anthem and fighting for justice should stand alone. I am here today on Sunday, February 3rd, to give the anthem back its voice, to stand for that historic choice of words, the way it unites us when we hear it, and free it from the same prejudices and struggles I have fought long and hard for all my life, from walking back hallways, from marching with our social leaders, from using my voice for good. I have been in the forefront of the battle longer than most of those voicing their opinions to win the right to sing our country's anthem on a stage as large as Super Bowl 53. No matter who chooses to deflect with this narrative and continue to mix two in the same message, it is not so and cannot be made so by anyone speaking it. I pray this national anthem will bring us all together in a way never before witnessed, and we can move forward and untangle these truths, which mean so much to all of us. Well, that's all warm and fuzzy. But that's not the America we live in today. And we have been trying to tell people all along, do not mix up Colin Kaepernick's, his kneeling and fight for social justice with the national anthem. And that's what she's doing. She thinks that Colin Kaepernick's protest is about the national anthem. 773-591-1690. We'll take all of your calls when we come back.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our news now.
Cloudy and cold today with temperatures in the teens. Good morning. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. Ex-Chicago cop Jason Van Dyke is now in custody of the Illinois Department of Corrections. ABC7 is reporting that he's under their protection for his safety and security and are not revealing where he's being held. Van Dyke was sentenced Friday to 6 years, 9 months for the 2014 murder of Laquan McDonald. That sentence is shocking to so many, including Reverend Marvin Hunter, Laquan McDonald's great uncle, who spoke with the WVON's Perry Small yesterday.
This guy is guilty of second-degree murder. The judge then comes in and says, I don't care what the jury says, I'm going to omit whatever they think their rulings are, and I'm only going to rule on this, which is the second-degree murder, because I decided that the second-degree murder was the most severe out of the cases. And so I'm saying when he said that, what he was really saying, when you add it to the 3 officers being let go, is that there are no laws on the books for a black man in this country that a white man is bound to honor. That's what he said.
Van Dyke is expected to spend just 3 years behind bars until he's eligible for parole. His attorneys have pledged to appeal. Police are out looking today for a person who shot and killed an 18-year-old man and grazed an innocent bystander in the leg at Orland Square Mall last night. It happened near the food court. Police believe the shooter is a tall black man in his 20s wearing dark clothing and blue jeans. They also believe he knew the victim, who was shot in the chest and died at the hospital. There was panic and chaos at the mall, customers and mall workers running, and as they heard shots, officers responded quickly with heavy weapons and did a store-to-store search. They have surveillance video showing the gunman walking out of the mall. Ed Burke believes he can win re-election despite dealing with his corruption scandal. The longtime city council member was campaigning last night on the Southwest Side, less than 3 weeks after being charged with attempted extortion.
If you take a ride around the streets here and see all the signs that are going up and the people that are rallying to our cause, I think you'd be quite impressed.
Burke has gotten the endorsement of the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police. The Chicago Board of Election will decide today whether to revoke Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown from the Chicago mayor's race. A hearing officer recommended last week that she be removed from the ballot because she lacked the required number of petition signatures. A woman in Paris filed a rape complaint against singer Chris Brown. French police said Brown and 2 other men were taken into custody yesterday. A 24-year-old woman says she was raped at Brown's hotel room on January 15th. And earlier this morning, Tracy Ellis Ross and Kumail Nanjiani announced the nominations for this year's Oscars. Spike Lee's BlacKkKlansman and Black Panther gets a Best Picture nod. Black Panther makes history again, becoming the first superhero movie nominated for Best Picture in Oscar history, and it gets 7 nominations in total. And for the first time in his career, Spike Lee gets nominated for Best Director, and his film, BlacKkKlansman, gets 6 in total. And as expected, Regina King is nominated for Best Supporting Actress for If Beale Street Could Talk. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time coming up on 9:34.